Good evening, girls. Today, let us see what are the sources of external finance. And before going to see what are the sources of external finance, let us see why external finance is important for a company, for a country. For example, every country would like to grow well. So, in order to grow well, the growth of a company depends upon two important things. The first thing is the availability of domestic savings. So for any business, we need investment, and like that for any nation's economic development, we need money. Where from do we get this money to invest in the business? We get from the domestic savings. That is savings by the domestic people. Only when people make savings, the saved money is invested in the business. So the first thing is the availability of domestic savings. And the second one is, if the people is not having enough money to invest in the business of the local country, at least they should have the availability of foreign exchange. So they should get money from foreign countries at least. So the availability of foreign exchange, either by way of export earnings or by way of external assistance, is a crucial determinant of the growth process of developing countries. Hope you understand, children. See, we need domestic savings or we need foreign exchange. So, domestic savings, we are not going to study about domestic savings now. Now we are going to study about external finance, that is foreign exchange. How do we get this foreign exchange? We get either by export earnings. When we make export, we earn foreign exchange. So that is the first thing. Or we should get some external assistance, some help from other country or loan from other country. So these are the two things. Either we have to earn foreign exchange or we have to borrow or get help from foreign currencies. So that is why external finance plays a crucial role in the growth process of the developing countries. So now let us see the two types of foreign capital. What are the two types of foreign capital or foreign money coming inside? The first is foreign aid. You all know the term, meaning of the term aid. Aid is nothing but help or grant. Money received from foreign countries in terms of grants or help, as a help, not as a not as an investment or something else, but as a help. Let us see what is foreign aid. So foreign aid means help, I told you, is either by way of loans or sometimes it may be grants. You all know what is loan. Loan means it is repayable. Grant is not repayable, giving as a gift. Grant is giving as a gift. But loan is repayable. But even getting loan itself is help. You all know, isn't it? So when you need money, we are ready to borrow, but there should be some friend who can help us by giving us loan. So everybody will not be giving us loan. So getting money in the form of loan is also aid or is also help. So when foreign countries provide our country loans or grants, they are called as help. So what is the purpose of grants? Grants intend to help countries in need of humanitarian and economic assistance. So grants, as I told you, they don't expect anything in return. Whereas loan means they expect repayment, they expect payment of interest. But grants means giving freely on the humanitarian basis. So based upon the human nature, as a human nature to help each other. So in that way, when foreign countries give money, give some economic assistance, that is what we call as grant. And these grants are given at the time of natural catastrophes like war, flood, earthquakes, etc. Isn't it? So during those times of natural disaster or some war between countries, so when the country suffers, the country is in need of dire need of money. At that time, some foreign countries come forward and provide help in the form of grants, not only in the form of money but also in the form of health care services. They send their doctors and provide services here. Then they make some infrastructural development. They construct immediate roads and all these things. Prevention of hunger and poverty and diplomatic relations are some of the other goals of international aid. So not only economic assistance or not only grants in the terms of money, but also in terms of healthcare, infrastructure development, prevention of hunger and poverty. So all these things also comes under the purview of international aid. This international aid or grant helps to promote a country's culture and languages. And not only that, sometimes it also helps to increase the exports of that particular country. So foreign aid or grants may be provided to bring up the economy status of a particular country or bring up the social status of the people living in the country or likewise, isn't it, anyway? And the other thing is one we saw that the one of the type of foreign money is foreign aids. The another is private capital. See, private capital is they do not give any grant or they do not give any loan. But what these people do, these people also provide us foreign exchange. How? Private capital, which may be by way of equity investment or by way of commercial borrowings. What does that mean? That means they do not give us any loan directly or they do not make any financial aid or grant directly, but they invest their money in our countries, our companies equity capital. They buy our equity shares. So fund comes inside our country to develop our business, ultimately leading to nation's economic development. Or maybe equity investment or sometimes maybe commercial borrowing. For example, purchase of debentures. As I told you earlier, when we study about international capital, we should not say that as debenture, we have to say that as bonds. So international bonds. So purchase of bonds of our country brings us foreign capital inside. So there are two ways of foreign capital. One is the foreign aid, and the other is the private capital. Before going to study in detail what are the sources of external finance in the way of private capital or in the way of capital, let us see what are the benefits of foreign aid. As I told you, foreign aid is grants as well as loans provided by foreign countries. So what are the benefits? Ultimately, no one can question about the benefits of foreign aid, because if somebody is ready to help us, then really that is a benefit for our country. And let us see what are the benefits. First one, it supplements the domestic resources. So a developing country like India will not have surplus domestic savings. So our need for investment is more, but the savings in our hand is less. So we do not have enough money for economic development. But this foreign aid, foreign grants or loans, it supplements our domestic resources. It adds to our domestic resources. As it is given in the material, you can see that India has always been falling short of resources. We are always falling short. Our need is more, but our supply of fund or supply of savings is very less. Why? This is due to low domestic savings, because savings is less in our country. Why is savings less? Due to low per capita income. So per capita income for one, income per head, income per person is very less in India when compared to other countries. So because of that low per capita income, we have low domestic savings. And not only that, there is a high propensity to consume. See, though having low income, our Indian people want to buy more. That is why they go for loans. So they even sometimes as a joke it is said that they even buy more than their income. They spend more than their income. How can a person spend more than their income? Yes, our Indian people, they do like that in the form of loans. That is why, because of this nature of buying more and more, consuming more and more, they lack the habit of savings, and that is why our country is falling short of money to invest. Okay, then that is why this foreign aid, this generates a substantial resource. So it supplements the local resources for undertaking big projects involving massive investments, for example, building a dam or building a power plant, etc. So for this purpose, our money, our local domestic savings is not enough. So in this foreign aid supplements our natural resources. This is the first benefit. And the second one is it facilitates import of development goods. Our country, being a developing country, is not industrially that much developed like other developed countries. So for that sophisticated machinery, we have to depend upon developed countries. So India depends upon imported equipments, imported capital goods, imported technology products in course of time. So for this importing of all these things, we need foreign grant. So instead of receiving money as grant, we can receive machinery as grant, equipment as grant, or we can receive equipments on loan, machinery on loan. Understand? So this is how foreign aid or foreign capital helps us. It facilitates import of development goods. The third one is it facilitates increase in exports. Exports could not be increased easily. Why? Because we lack development in our manufacturing sector. That is why our exports are less. We are not able to export more, and our country do not have surplus. So when can we export? When we can produce what we need, and additionally more than that, then only we can export. But our country is not in a position to produce more. That is why it is not having enough surplus. That is why it is not able to export. This was due to higher cost. Why? Because here cost of production is high. We have certain barriers. Then our products are of poor quality, and our inflationary pricing, often the prices go up. Have you ever heard about all the prices of the products coming down? Very rare. But every year, every month, even every day, constantly the prices of goods goes on increasing. So these are all drawback, and this drawback can be overcome only when we get foreign aid. The next is, what is the next benefit of foreign aid is foreign aid facilitates reduction in imports. So imports can be reduced with the help of foreign aid. When there is a price in domestic prices, it leads, when the cost of a particular product in the nation it comes up, what will happen? Everybody will try to import, isn't it? But when there is foreign aid helps comes here in the form of food grains and other basic needs of the country. We can avoid such hike in prices. I think you might remember recently these days we had a surge in the price of, that is a sudden increase in the price of onions. Do you remember, girls? So there was a sudden increase in the price of onions. So we couldn't manage the price of onions, that it went above 100 rupees, 120 rupees, etc. Then what we had to do? The government, what it did? The government imported onions from other states. So immediately what happened? When there was an import, what happened? The domestic prices, rise in the domestic prices was controlled. That is why we need foreign aid. That is how we need foreign aid to reduce the imports, or to have a control over the local domestic prices. Because when the domestic prices goes up, we will have to increase our imports. But when we get foreign aid, what will happen? We need not pay anything, isn't it? Because we are not importing, we are not paying anything. We get as help or aid. So when we receive aid, there will be a control in the price of that particular product. But we have to remember, children, that foreign aid is not 100% safe. It is not 100% good. Of course, it is good. We need money. If somebody from a foreign country helps, that is well and good. But remember, there are certain problems also in foreign aid. So now let us see what are the problems created by aid. What are the problems that are possible when we receive aid? The first is the debt service burden. Debt service burden. So I told you already, foreign grants is nothing. It's not only help, not only getting free of cost, but also loans. Remember, when you get loans from a foreign country, it is good. That is also a help we receive from a foreign country, but that is debt, isn't it? That is loan. So the loans received from foreign countries should be paid interest. So when we get loan from a foreign country, remember we have to pay interest for that particular amount. So which becomes a burden on the foreign exchange balance. So again our foreign exchange becomes imbalanced. Many a time what happened? Debt service obligations increased to such an extent that we have to utilize a part of our aid to meet our debt service obligation. So what happens? That the debt or the loan, foreign loans, it becomes high. When it becomes high, we have to pay more. What we have to pay? Interest we have to pay more. So to pay foreign exchange, interest in the form of foreign exchange, the major part of the foreign aid what we receive has to be paid as interest. So that is a danger in foreign aids in the form of loans. So why this may be due to high interest, short repayment period, and improper utilization of aid. Our people, our nation people, they do not utilize the grants or aids properly, and that becomes a burden. The second drawback or the second problem what we can see in using foreign aid is it may lead to foreign political pressures. See, when a foreign government continuously is helping India during all situations, then understand there will be an undue influence that we have to obey that country's rules. It may also pose certain restrictions and we cannot say no because we are already getting help from them. So what will happen? It will indirectly influence our political parties, our political leaders, and it will influence our Indian politics or the government. It will have pressure on our government. Foreign governments may stop aid if they are not satisfied with our political policies. So when our government frames certain political policies and the foreign government is not satisfied with that policy, it will say we will stop the aid. If you are not going to do this, we will stop the aid. So that will happen. The larger the dependence on foreign sources for aid, the larger is the political pressure. That is why we have to live independently. We should not depend on foreign countries. When you depend on foreign countries for money, then automatically we become slaves, or we become, not if not slaves, indebted, that we have to obey to their rules and regulations. So this is the second danger what we have when you depend upon foreign grants and loans. The third one is there is a lot of uncertainty in aid's flow. Aid's flow means money, help flowing inside country. There is a lot of uncertainty as to timing and quantum of aid. Take for example, let us take United States of America as an example. The President of United States has promised 200 crores. Let us just for an example, I am saying 200 crores of aid to India. Okay, so we are ready for 200 crores. We have started the project and now we need first installment at least to start the project and to start up. We have to wait. See that this is aid. You cannot direct the American president to say within this month you have to give the money. Can we ask like that? No, because it is aid. So we cannot plan the timing. We cannot say first installment we need 100 crores, sir. Second installment you give 70 crores, sir. Third installment you give 30 crore. Like that, can we direct him? No, because it is aid. So because it is help made by him, we cannot say any restrictions. So the timing and the quantum amount of aid flowing inside, there is an uncertainty. We cannot say for certain that we can receive in that particular year. So when you plan to do the work in a particular year, but the amount is not credited, we are not able to receive the money in time, then the amount already invested also will become a waste. So there is a danger of uncertainty regarding flow of time and the quantum of aid in the foreign aid. The next one is flow of aid. When aid money comes inside, it may lead to complacency. What is complacency? Being careless, doing the work careless. Take for example, you go for a part-time job for single day, one part-time job, get a 100 rupee, earn 100 rupees, go and spend the money in the somewhere in the bazaar. How you spend the money, and at the same time you give somebody a gift 100 rupees and see how they spend the money 100 rupees. So a 100 rupees which is earned hardly, how it is spent, and the 100 rupees which is got as gift, how it is spent. Can you understand the difference between how these two monies are spent? 100 rupees received as a gift, how it is spent. 100 rupees earned working hard, how it is spent. So there will be complacency, or there will be negligence, or there will be, what is that? Complacency, that is what we can say. So while we get grants, while we get aid from a foreign country, the person will not be that much interested, or that person will not be that much cautious, careful in making the selection of the project and utilizing the money properly. What will happen? It discourages. So there is complacency. So when complacency comes, quality will be compromised. So quality of the product will come down. Quality of the project will come down. Not only that, it discourages local initiative for increasing savings and developing indigenous technology. So because we get aid from foreign countries, the local people will be discouraged. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to earn money. They don't want to save money. They don't want to develop any new technology, etc. They will give up all their work, and they will get the money and spend. So what will happen? Local traditional jobs, traditional work technologies will all go down, will all be perished. So that is one great drawback of the in the foreign aid. Okay, girls. In the next class, let us go in detail with the sources of external finance. Thank you, girls.